I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat, beat. I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat, beat. I gotta hit the beat. I gotta I gotta but the feeling keeps kicking in. Beef with all the girls, bullshit dripping off the chin.
Bringing anything to the table, bro. I'm not your son, see I'm able. I do my own bits. Limited edition on some missing classic shit. I know that you're feeling it. Feel mad, cold nights feel heavy. Same place, going in the heart of the city. Nitty gritty feels iffy and the eyes feel shifty. The shit we're in, yo, it's all mad risky.
All night long. other girls. Bullshit dripping out the chin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Promo Observer. I'm Dr. Quack, and we're going to be talking about today Foundation versus WGP. Foundation out here with House of Thunder, and we got WGP with Fall or Brawl. We're going to talk about both of these shows, but I can't do this alone. Of course, I've got my two great co-hosts here. Let me bring on Mr. Bones.
Yo.
What up, Bones? And we also got Wave Seltzer.
Dipset, Bird Gang, Goonie Goon Goon, Skull Gang forever.
There it is. And we got one more person to bring. We got a special guest here, ladies and gentlemen, the current Foundation World Champion, Don Krypton.
Good evening. How's everyone today?
Oh, everybody's doing good. All the smiling faces on this screen. Yes. But yeah, let's get down to it here. Let's get to the start of this because, we've got the Foundation House of Thunder show. Let me ask you, champ, Don Krypton, how are you feeling about this show in general?
House of Thunder was an amazing show, honestly. One of the best that I've seen put on, and I've seen some good shows. Obviously, I'm the general manager of BWO. We put on one of the best performances literally in the universe. But as far as House of Thunder went, it was actually a very good show. Put it one of the top shows I've been a part of. So thank you so very much for asking that.
Okay. Wave Seltzer, you want to comment on that?
No, I have no comments. You guys know how I felt about it. I thought it was a good show.
There you go. Butt Bones, you up with that?
Man, I think it's the most overrated show that I've seen yet because of the reactions I got from before I saw it. I think it was an okay show.
Okay.
Nothing was bad except for one promo, but overall it was an okay show. Okay, not good. Just because it's not bad doesn't mean it's good. It was okay.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the commentary. Let's talk about Hollywood Haywood there doing the commentary. Bones, how do you feel about that?
I'm actually a fan. I mean, he's not in my top tier, but that tier right under the top tier, he's right there. I think he did what he needed to do. He didn't detract from the show whatsoever. Just like I was good with it.
You good with it? Wave?
I think this is part of what Bones is talking about when you say the show is okay. The commentary is okay. There's nothing bad about it. But to me, the voice of Foundation will always be A-list. Always. That's just my point of view.
Don?
My personal feelings about Haywood aside, I would say that it was very well done, I believe. Again, probably not in the top tier. I agree with Bones on this one, but as far as it being done, it was done adequately.
Yeah. I mean, we gave him 3 stars on that. I think he's done a hell of a job. He's definitely did good filling in there. I agree, though. He is not A-list Alverson. That is a whole nother level, but he is definitely filling the spot pretty good. But let's get into these matches here. Wait, we got the first one. We got AT and Mr. Wallace.
That was he said.
AT and Mr. Wallace. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I've seen AT and Mr. Wallace at their best. So if we have like the full scale of how great or how bad they could go, I'd put this at the 80 percentile. This was Mr. Wallace at 80%. This was AT at 80%. Does it make it bad? No, I thought it was very good. I enjoyed myself. I thought it was a lot of fun. Plus, these dudes are super charismatic. But yeah, good.
Okay. Don?
As far as the show goes, it was actually a great show opener. I would probably give it more 90% than 80. Both of them are very, very great competitors. AT being Pillar's brother in the BWO, and obviously Mr. Wallace being my backup here in the foundation right now. So, yes, very much so. I believed it was a great match. I obviously couldn't pick sides, but it was a great match nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, I love that AT, because this is the first time I ever got to see him do bare bones style promos. Usually he's got a lot of graphics and a lot of flair and flash. I really loved what he did there. I mean, this was a tight matchup, 102-101, very close. I mean, AT came out and edged it against a crafty veteran and Mr. Wallace. I enjoyed this match. It got 3.5 stars from us, but Bones, how do you feel about it?
I think great match is very much overselling this match. It was a good match. It was not good for the competitors in this match. It did not live up to either one of them. It was both of them on autopilot. To me, I've seen much better from both of them. Like, this is pretty much them just like, you know what? I owe a promo. Let me put this out. That's how I felt for both of them. Even though let me put it out for both of them is better than most people, it's still, I'm not going to say it was a great match. It was cool. I wasn't upset or unentertained, but I just know I could have had much better from this match. Like, these two names in itself could have been a match of the year candidate, and it was like.
So you feel like neither one of these guys gave it their all in this? They didn't go 100%.
At all. I feel like they both sleepwalked. Sleepwalked. I feel like they both on cruise control.
I think it's a low bar, man. You give certain criteria for certain people. Was it a great match? Yes. Was it their greatest matches?
No. It wasn't. No.
But
no.
It
wasn't on any bar. It wasn't a great match. It was a good match. I'm separating the two things. I'm not saying it wasn't a great match because it was them two. If anybody had that level of entertainment for me, I wouldn't have called it a great match. It was a good match. Am I going to ever go watch this match again? No. Am I going to think about this match again? I probably would have forgot about it if I didn't know this already. I would never even remember that they had a match before. Like, I'm not going to remember this match. It's good. It's a good match. It was good. That's it.
I think it's because there was nothing really on the line, you know?
Okay, see a unicorn, baby.
Beautiful unicorn. Okay. But yes, again, I don't think the match was at its zenith, at its peak, because there was nothing really on the line other than pride. So I think if this were a championship match of some sort, they would definitely pull out their biggest stops, but still better than 90% of the rest of the promoverse, guaranteed. That's all I'm saying.
75%.
Well, we see how the panel feels about this one. I mean, we talk about replay value. It's very important here. If you don't have replay value, I don't feel like it's an A+ promo. I mean, that's where you got to go, hey, I want to rewatch this, and I've already seen this. That matters a lot.
Agreed.
But, yeah, so we'll move on to this because we had, the WGP champion Rambo at the time. He was coming out on screen, cut a good hype there for the match coming up. Talking about El Guapo and Franklin Benjamin. Wade, you want to go into that?
Honestly, I don't even know what is. I don't know why this happened. I kind of feel like Rambo was going out there to kind of like give Foundation a lower rating. I think he went out there blatantly to waste 3 minutes and put on a stinker of a hype and just wanted to lower the rating of Foundation. If I'm in Foundation management, I'm never letting this guy back in again.
Oh, my God.
Wow. I think the fact that, obviously one of my best friends, but he still owes me money. You know what I'm saying? He said he wanted to bet on it, and that 1 point cost him the entire bet. So that's all I got to say about that. Rambo, even a stinker of a hype from Rambo is better than, like I said, 90% of other people. Did it waste 3 minutes of a PPE? Yes, but that's my guy. That's my guy.
Bones?
And this is where I give it a soul star. Why? Why was it here? I was already gonna have to struggle to watch through this thing because I was tired. So I was already mad. Why? Yeah, sure. Rambo is entertaining, but why? Like, why? Why did we just put him randomly in the middle of a promo just to like talk about the next match for no reason? The host could have did that in 10 seconds to wrap that stuff up. Why? This made me more mad than any. This made me mad on the level of something else that we're gonna talk about. I think on this show. I might be confused. Is it this show?
We are, yeah. We'll talk about
this was the maddest thing that made me though.
But yeah, wait, let's go into this match. El Wapo and Franklin Benjamin FTW title.
Match of the night. Exceeded on all levels. Wapo's best promo. Franklin Benjamin is on all cylinders. This match was very likely the best match on both shows.
Sorry, but that, yeah, I can go with that. Yeah, it was definitely one of the better matches for sure. Definitely enjoyed it. We gave it a 3.5. Just really enjoyed, the match because El Wapo stepped up here. I think he had a good, plan to come at him. But Franklin Benjamin ended up retaining the title 101 to 100. Really tight fight here. Don?
The best match on both promos and still only gets 3.5 stars. That's where I'm kind of mind blown. Franklin Benjamin.
Let me stop you right there, Don. You just talked about not grading on the curve. Just because it's the best match doesn't mean it's 3.5 stars. The best match, that just means everybody else should did better.
It was the best match for both shows. And yet it still got lower than at least 2 other promos. That's what I'm saying. That's grading on a curve of some sort. And we'll talk about that, I guess, when we get to the
Oh, that I agree with. But when we get to me, we'll get there. Go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off. You're right. Go ahead.
When we get there, we'll get there. But yes, obviously Franklin Benjamin in the GOP with myself. We have been working on getting around some of the other things that he was working on, and he came out firing on all cylinders. He is always going to be one of the most entertaining. Hopefully he we get to a point where he starts switching things up, getting even deeper into the character. But yes, Franklin Benjamin, obviously one of my favorite competitors, obviously one of my brothers in this promoverse, and El Wapo, just a string of bad luck. No matter how good he is, his competitor always seems to be just a little bit better. Hopefully he understands that he belongs on WGP, but at this point, hopefully things start to look up for Wapo.
Okay. Bones?
And this will be why this was rated because of me being the Russian judge about this one. I 100% did not like agree with what everybody just said because it's definitely not the match of. I don't know if it might be the match of the show. I can't because I watched them both together, so like I get them both. They kind of bleeding together. Which show, but I know it wasn't the best match amongst both shows for me at all. And I know that I didn't think Wapo's promo was his best promo ever, or even like that good. I felt like he could have did much better. I feel like I've seen much better from Wapo, and y'all making me feel like that might just be me. But I didn't get any. I got okay from Wapo, and I got above okay from Franklin Benjamin, who I love. Franklin Benjamin above okay is like the floor for me, right? But I didn't get just like this. Just wasn't that good of a match to me. It was okay. Again. So the reason that it didn't get rated so highly, I think my specific star score is what brought the average down on this one. Sounds like it anyway from us talking, because I definitely don't think this was the match of the month, we should say.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I think this was probably the match on the card. I think this was the top match on the card. There was great moments, but as far as competitiveness goes, this was probably the match to watch as far as a good fight. That's where I would go with it. But now I'm going to move into my 2-finger salute because this match was fucking garbage. This here, and I hate to say it because it got 2.5 stars and it goes to one person. it goes to A-List Alverson. The other half of this should get a -5 stars. I swear to God, if we had that on the scale, talking about Master of Illusions and A-List Alverson karaoke match, Jesus, I swear to God. And this is my thought process. If we could take, and I'm going to get to this, but if we could take Don Krypton's promo and we could take A-List Alverson's promo, put that as a match, this would get a higher grade than the both of them combined. Because this right here, good God, I get the E for effort. I have seen you sing, literally. I have heard you sing. I know you can sing, Master of Illusions, but this was absolutely fucking garbage. Bones.
Can I go second?
Yeah.
I will say one thing that Massive Illusion, first of all, last time Massive Illusion, we talked about you, we were giving you so much praise and high regard. This time we getting the complete opposite. I will say that I was impressed by the fact that somehow he managed to not only be offbeat rapping and offbeat singing, but also his video, his lip sync was off sync with the song. I don't understand how every single part of this could be off of each other. And even if it was perfectly lined up, it still would have been terrible. You had a horrible choice to try. You know what? I ain't gonna say it was a horrible choice. Your concept alone, if you ever told me your concept, I'd be like, you know what? That could be dope. And then you ran that motherfucker straight into the goddamn ground. This shit was so ass. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get beat this bad ever. Like, I can't think of, and I've squashed some people. I remember all my squashes. I ain't never squashed nobody like this, and this was officially the largest gap in Foundation history, officially. And I kind of feel like they gave him too many points. I feel like Massive Illusion got too many points on this one, and I'm super mad because he hyped me up about it personally. He's like, "Have you seen the Loki match?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Trust me, it's gonna be good," and it was not. It was so bad that my negative feelings kind of leaked into how I felt about A-List. It took A-List a while to win me back over to even care about this concept of a match, because he ruined the whole concept of the match for me. The A-List shit was good though.
Yes.
Gotta say that.
Did a great job. He really
we can't spend an hour talking about how bad.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, we can't spend an hour talking about how bad Massive Illusion was, even though it would be really easy to do so. But we gotta give A-List some props. A-List was good.
And you can send your hate mail right over to Bones. He'll take all that. Yeah, by all means. Wade, go ahead.
You know, I spent countless hours with many people trying to help them grow. Luke took the time to reach out to me when his promo was already due. I had to help him deconstruct the whole promo. He was going to do it on the original instrumental. I actually believe that I saved him a little bit by telling him, hey, go on a piano version, because then you can't hear how offbeat as much than being on the drums. As bad as this was, this could have been worse. I am extremely disappointed. I'm disappointed because I know how excited he was. I know how great of a concept he has, but his execution was absolute dog shit. Like you have to take responsibility for the work you do. You had all this time. You knew months. You're someone who knows. You were excited about this. So it really, like, I want to feel bad, but I can't feel bad, because as a competitor, you got to do better. You got to do better. You're the first one to cry about this. You're the first one to point out when other people don't execute. You've got to execute. That's all I'll say about that. A-List was phenomenal. He was beautiful. He belonged on American Idol, but the match is thrown away by that point.
Don?
I believe all has been said on Master of Illusions. I don't like where the prototype title is heading, being the first one to hold it. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of all the gimmick matches, but as far as that's concerned, we'll figure out the rest. Yes, A-List Alverson did put on a relatively good showing, and no comment on Master of Illusions.
I understand. Yeah, 111-71. That was the final score of that match. The largest gap in history for Foundation. But now I want to get into this match here because this is your match, Mr. Don Krypton. Talking about you and Gene Emerson, Foundation title. Going into this, how did you feel about this match, and how did you feel about it coming out of it?
As you can see, I put on. I saw his hypes, and I utterly and completely dismissed them. I had no interest of taking Gene Emerson seriously at all. But as I got closer to the date, it was I found that it was necessary to at least see what he's about, see who he is, and figure it out. And coming out of it, he was double the man that I thought he was, for sure. I'll tell you that much. He put on an excellent show. He did the best that someone Gene fucking Emerson could do. So kudos to him, absolutely. No problems there. But the conclusion, I don't think, was in doubt.
I was very skeptical on this match. I think I messaged you and I said, "Hey, are you going to beat him by 15 points or more?" I mean, that's really where I thought this was going to go. But he stepped up, and I'm going to eat my word and say he stepped up and he did a great job. It was 105.99. He put in a hard effort. Yes, you came out there with a really strong promo in comparison, but he came with a puncher's chance on that. Like watching his promo, you were like, okay, maybe he's got a shot here. So I'm going to give him credit. Yeah, we gave it 3 stars. Wade, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know Gene Emerson's full history. I damn sure don't know everything he's ever done, but I'm going to go on a limb and say that this might be the greatest Gene Emerson promo of all time. But with that being said, that plays into what Bones is talking about. This could be great for an individual, but still okay. This was still just an okay promo. And if you look into, like, this guy was out here almost every other week, either on the Wall or on Foundation's Blueprint show, and his hypes were so underwhelming that I almost feared that is Don Krypton going to be able to work with this? I felt like, it's a dance at the end of the day. It's a dance. Like, why would Don even try? He has nothing to try off of. With that being said, Don went out there and literally crypt walked all over this promo. He made it seem so poetic, so effortless. It flowed very well. This was a very good promo, and it brought the overall match up to a standard that I can't even describe. But would you put that on a great level? That's part of it. I wouldn't put that as a great match. I'm like, damn, that shit exceeded my expectations because I didn't have any. I didn't have any expectations for this match. But yeah, great championship defense for sure. I could definitely say great championship defense.
Yeah. Bones?
Man, Gene Emerson, you did more than anybody expected from you. And for that, you deserve to be applauded. And I'm not going to shit on you for that. You know who I'm going to shit on? Whoever the fuck is booking Foundation. Because the fact that he gave us more than he possibly could, you should have known that he wasn't ready for a championship match with Don fucking Krypton. Like, if you name top 3 right now, Don Krypton is going to be on everybody's list. Why would you set that up? I understand he's got to face some fucking body, but you got some fucking body else. Like, y'all the one who drafted all the top talents, right? So why the fuck would you book this and set Gene Emerson up like this? You set him up anyway. He did much better than we could have expected. We can't be mad about that. But if you put a 5'9" motherfucker in a dunk contest and he go do a layup, I'm gonna say good job. You tried your best. Who the fuck put him in the dunk contest?
He had a cash in. If you didn't know, I don't know if you were aware. He had a cash in.
I was unaware. I thought pretty sure something else, but I was unaware. My bad then. You know what? It had to be done. Y'all should just let this happen.
That point wasn't emphasized enough. That point wasn't emphasized.
I had no idea.
Gene Emerson's job to make me know this guy has a cash in. I don't know what the Golden Boy means.
Golden ticket, something like that.
I thought that was just his name, like Oscar De La Hoya. That's what I thought the whole time. Why are there so many cash ins on these shows? How am I supposed to know when there's one for every single
I
title,
blame Dan.
one for both
blame
groups
Dan.
together? I swear, there's a Money in the Bank for every single title. There's the Money in the Bank for all the groups together. How am I supposed to know somebody's cashing in? They all have different rules, slightly. Cash in now, cash in later. You can be number one. I don't know. It's too much shit. But also, Don Krypton, that was a good promo, and it was also a whack promo. It was a whack Don Krypton promo, but it was a good promo for like everybody else. So I forgive it because I watched it and I still enjoyed it.
Again, didn't have
And
much to work on.
It's probably as well as I would have done in full Beast Mode Bones mode against Gene Emerson. So I mean, I can't really complain, but I'm just being honest. Like we both know, we all know.
Yeah.
That wasn't
I said,
Don Krypton on 100%.
I will
didn't
say
have
that
much to work
due
on.
to the originality of Don Krypton's promo, it is probably the one thing that I would want to watch back when we talk about replay value.
Oh, on this show, absolutely. The only thing I would watch again is Don Krypton's promo. If I watched anything else again, I wouldn't watch anything again. But if I was going to watch anything, it would be the Don Krypton promo.
And the A-list karaoke part, I think that was pretty good. I'll go with that. You wouldn't go with that replay?
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. A-list up there too.
I would listen to it. I would download the MP3 version.
I would definitely go watch the Master of Illusion promo again. If I have a match against somebody and I need to really piss myself off for it, I'm gonna play that Master of Illusion shit and put on some headphones where I can't hear nothing else and force myself to listen to it and act like the person who I'm facing is the person who made me listen to it. Take out all my rage on them.
You know what makes that song from A-List so great is that Luke literally went out there and proved it 3 minutes before.
Yes, it's crazy.
Let's move on to the main event here, the House of Thunder match. Wade, you want to start with this one?
House of Thunder match. Just like I'm gonna be honest because people get mad anyway, so why am I holding back? Just like all of Foundation's gimmick matches, I have no expectations of them. I actually have anxiety. Oh my God, I gotta watch this. And then when it's delivered, this was over-delivered. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the House of Thunder match. I enjoyed Buckshot's surprise. I enjoyed Bobby's story. I enjoyed A-List Alverson stealing Bones' position. This was well done, but that is not without flaws. Just because Buckshot is the surprise doesn't mean you have to put him all the way at the end when A-List Alverson clearly overshadowed him. There are plot holes here. I thought I understood the match well, but many people were asking me what's going on. Something was not translated well about the round. Something was not translated right about the reveals. Why are you zapping something and the picture's not there? There are definite plot holes. Just because it was better than I expected does not make it great. However, I enjoyed it.
Well, it wasn't better than I expected.
Oh, go ahead. Bones, go ahead.
So that out there because I watched late, therefore I got everybody else's. Oh my God, this is the best Foundation show ever. There was only one bad promo because nobody acknowledges that having no good promo, no good promos to A-List, and no good promos. It's not make a good show. So anyway, I had higher expectations. And I'm going to say, first of all, I'm going to expound on what Wade was saying because I didn't know what the fuck I didn't understand the rules of this match at all. And this is where I'm going to hit Hollywood Haywood as a host because he could have explained this shit much better than me. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I've never seen these matches before. You can assume that other people have seen House of Thunder before, but I'd never seen this shit before. I'm assuming there are other people who haven't, so I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was mad confused the entire time. The shit started off, and then it was 4 bolts of lightning, and niggas disappeared, and I was like, damn, all 4 of them eliminated? I didn't even know who the jokers were yet. And then they appeared in the house, and I was like, I don't know what just happened. At that point, then it started making sense, but I was very confused by that at first and foremost. Second of all, I understand Like you not booking this. You had to go with what the judges say, but the judges are really who fucked this match out of being great. First of all, Trevor, Robert, everybody first round promo was okay. I was the max of everybody. I'm hoping that Trevor was building, but Trevor shouldn't have went out in the first round. He didn't deserve to go. We have worse promos. Bobby promo was worse than Trevor's, to be honest, in the first round. It was just a build up though. I feel like Trevor had the same build going. I feel like this could have been a great match had Trevor not got wrongly eliminated. But then after that, cool. It was still gonna work because A-List was going the fuck off and Bobby was building up the entire time. And insider information tells me that Bobby Miller didn't even expect to make it to the second round. But he built up off his shit and he got fired, right? Then you get to the finals and it's Buckshot. I love Buckshot. I've always loved Buckshot. But we got the same Buckshot we had since 2019. I don't understand why who judged this to make Bucks? Like, even, I don't know. I just don't understand how you're judging get Buckshot in the finals. And Buckshot versus Bobby being that last match, and Bobby decimated his man. Like, Bobby squashed the shit out of this man. Like, that one part, that end part, is something I would rewatch too, of Bobby squashing the shit out of Buckshot. Why the fuck didn't it? Was everybody else watching this with me? I wasn't paying attention when y'all were talking about this in the group chat. Does everybody agree that A-List should have definitely 1000% been in the finals?
Yeah, that's
I agree.
Agreed.
I don't understand. And also, I think A-List, that spot by me that I didn't know what the fuck I was doing it for, kind of. I think they used that pretty well. I'm not sure if that was A-List idea or that was Dan's idea. I think they used that pretty well to set up him being a Joker. I didn't even I don't know if I was sleeping, but did they not really fully announce that Tyler was the Joker very well? Because I didn't really know that he was
I thought I understood it, but I heard a lot of complaints from other people.
I didn't know that he was Joker until right now, honestly. I thought that I missed something earlier in the show where he got traded to Foundation. I didn't know what happened. So I didn't know that until you were talking. So this match was cool. It was cool. It was not good though. That's my stance on all the matches. It was alright. Everything had moments, but not good though.
Okay. John?
Yeah, I absolutely parrot everything that Bones says. The biggest issue, and obviously Wave said it as well, the biggest issue was the judging. Bobby should have been out in the first round. Trevor should not have gotten eliminated, and there's no way in hell Buckshot was better than A-List Alverson. So everybody's execution, obviously Bobby telling a story, Buckshot, going off on everybody. I think everybody had their reasoning for taking the time that they did or taking the route that they did. But I think it was, as much as I hate to say it, the judging was not right on this one. I would have liked to see A-List versus Bobby again. That would have been very interesting, but I think that's probably what they were trying to avoid because that was the prototype title. But that does not mean that you should change it because you don't want to see this again. Judge it on who's the better competitor in this one.
I don't honestly believe that they had any plans, any type of motive behind how they judge. I just think that they just got it wrong.
Yeah.
And see, look, this is what I'll explain to everybody at home here. Look, you got 4 different opinions here, 4 quality people involved in the promo world here with their opinions. And just like judges, they're going to have theirs. And, do I like the way it came out with the finals? No, I really think it should have been A-List and Bobby. That should have been the match, but it wasn't. And to me, it kind of reminded me of King of the Ring 95 with Savio Vega getting his ass whooped by King Mabel. I mean, it was just you knew it was going to happen. You didn't have to watch, but it happens. It was a good show. I give it a good match there. We came out with 3.25 stars. I think, and I've seen multiple of these House of Thunder matches. This was probably the best one to date. I will say that.
So House of Thunder matches be trash.
You don't like them?
I'm asking because it's the first one I've seen, and it wasn't that good. So my assumption is that
last year too.
Well, the first time you do something, it's always working out the kinks. It was okay the first one. The second one was a little bit better. They're improving with it. They're figuring out the whole, rules and getting it down packed. And it's a lot. I mean, you're talking 6 different pieces in there.
Yeah, I think it's more of an execution thing.
Yeah.
I want to
Absolutely.
give him some
Absolutely.
credit. I wasn't like I never tuned out from a long ass match, and that's not really like me. So I give him that much credit. At least I was waiting to see what was gonna happen. For me, I'll tune the fuck out real fast and just give up on it. So at least I was waiting to see what's gonna fucking happen next.
Yeah, definitely some plot holes that could be fixed. It's not like it's not fixable. There's definitely some plot holes that could be fixed, and both Foundation and WGP has to figure out a way to change the criteria of judging or something. Because I don't know, man. It just feels like thumbs up, thumbs down sometimes. Oh, we want to keep these two guys away, so let's just nah. Something's got to give.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
I really don't think that was any.
Oh, go ahead.
I really don't think there was any ulterior motive behind the judgment. I think it just went how it went.
It did. It just went how it went, man. It's what happens. The crapshoot sometimes. But yeah, the House of Thunder show got 3 stars. Blueprint, this is where I want to give credit. Blueprint has went up to 3 stars on the average. They used to put on a lot of bad stuff. I think the move to Friday nights has kind of helped them. And there's been like shorter matches and quality matches that have been on there. And it makes you want to tune in and really get excited for the main shows. I think Blueprint has really done a great job.
All that shit he said.
Absolutely. They've been taking my advice finally to, get rid of all of the gimmicks and the weird things. So we're getting back to matches, we're getting back to promos, and we're making promos great again.
Well, good job, champ. You're what a champion should be, apparently.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and we'll be back. Back. Definitely make sure you check out the future shows here in WGP and Foundation coming up next month as we continue on the war between WGP and Foundation. But right now, we're going to go into Fall or Brawl. And Bones, we're going to start with you because I know you want to talk about this magical countdown.
Bro, all right, so I get it. Maybe if you're watching live, but why would you tell me to tune in at 7 o'clock? And I tune in at 7 o'clock, I'm here, and then you're like, hey, wait 3 minutes, motherfucker. Why would you do that to me? But it's even worse when you're not watching live. Do you understand? I'm like, all right, bet. Now I got time to finally watch WGP, and I got to scroll through 3 minutes to start it off. Like, realistically, if this wasn't my job, I would have just not watched it at that point. That's how mad it made me. I would just, you know what? I don't even care about this one. I wouldn't even watch Fall or Brawl. And I think I'm on it. I don't remember at this point. I wouldn't even have watched it. Even for me, at best, I would skip to the main event because that really pissed me off. I don't understand why. I don't understand what the point is. Like, if you feel the need to have a countdown and you're going to say the show starts at 7, then start your show at 6:57 with a 3-minute countdown. That makes sense. You know how mad I would be if I turned on Raw and they're like, thanks on the Raw, 5 minutes from now, it's going to come on. Why would you do that? That's all.
I didn't mind the countdown. I think it was cool the way they did it, telling about the matches. But yeah, I get your point. Yeah, you got to start that early, definitely. But now we got that out of the way because I want to make sure, because I know you want to talk about this. So let's get into the Fall and Brawl because we have Mr. Wallace on commentary. Don Krypton, how you feel about that? How do you feel he did?
Oh, Mr. Wallace is one of the only reasons that I watch any WGP product. He's always entertaining, always great at hyping up matches that probably shouldn't even be hyped up. So he is the one reason that keeps everybody, he keeps asses in seats. So that's the one reason. So he gets everything that he deserves.
Okay. Wave.
It may seem harsh, but I'd like to echo those statements, man. Like, if it wasn't for Mr. Wallace, I don't think I could be involved with WGP, man. He really is. He brings that vibe. He sets the ambiance. He set the standard. He makes it a party. It's all him. Now, to a couple of things that I dislike. Now, Bones mentioned the countdown. That's neither here nor there for me because I'm always late. So if I catch the countdown, I'm like, oh shit, I can still make the sandwich. They ain't ready. So I'm a fan of the countdown. What I'm not a fan of is the setup for the intro music, man. I wanted to give it some time. I let it marinate, but how many times have we come out here and we say, yo, it's not wrestling. You got to separate from wrestling. Some things don't translate the same way as wrestling. I get the idea. I get that no one else is doing it, but there's a reason that no one else is doing it. It seems kind of corny. Yeah. Now I'll elaborate a little more later, but as far as the packaging and, as it relates to, like Mr. Wallace's portion of putting these videos up and making sure the show feels like a good vibe, that is counterproductive to how good of a commentator he is.
And I'm gonna add to that the intro thing, and I'm gonna say it a completely different way. It ain't even just that; it's just stupid, and it's nonsensical. Like, all right, so somebody intro music play, and then the other person, you ain't walking out. So, like, what is that doing for me? I already know who's facing who. At least I hate the intros in the first place. I really do because you're not walking out. It's always just somebody in front of the camera doing this. to some music, right? Most of the time, some people have good ones, but most of them are just that. So I already hate intros, but then when you put them back to back for absolutely no reason, like people are walking out, it really pisses me off. And like, it's nonsensical. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't help me with anything. It doesn't differentiate anything. And then when the person's first intro plays comes out after the second intro, it just confuses the shit out of me. So there's that. Mr. Wallace, y'all call him Mr. Wallace. I call him HNI. I see y'all know since way back, and I did not know he was entertaining. I think I rated him much higher than you guys did actually in this regard for this show. I will say not only did he make the worst WGP show worth watching, I will add that for me personally, when I cut a promo, I'm waiting to see how much this man is gonna laugh at my promo. Like at some point, my promos are only for him just to see his reaction because I know I'm gonna get it. His react shows so much to me, and we're gonna get into some of those reacts on this exact review show. But forget about his presenting. His reacts themselves make me feel like I'm watching with my homie. When I'm watching alone, I feel like I'm not watching by myself because I got his reacts to go off of.
Yeah, we gave him 4.25 stars. Definitely a little bit of gap between him and Hollywood Haywood on commentary. Both do a good job, but yeah, Mr. Wallace definitely, makes you want to tune in. He does. But let's get into this first match. The Havoc title, Master Sean Puff against Mama Purge. Wave Seltzer, you want to start with this one?
No, I do not. One of the biggest problems that WGP has is the flow of the show. And this is the best example of it. Why in the hell would you start the WGP show with Mama Purge and Master Sean Puff? Like, you watch those two promos, it's a landslide victory. And even the one that came with the victory has his flaws. Why would you say, hey, this is the icebreaker, this is how we're kicking off the show, when you've got DB and McFly down there? They need to understand the opening match positioning, the opening match role, why it matters to start off hot and not start off kind of hot. I love you, Mama Purge. This is probably one of your better promos, but it doesn't belong here.
Can I piggyback before you go further? I want to just throw in on top of exactly what you're saying. If this is my first time watching promos, Do you really want the promo that's gonna make me keep watching promos? The first one that's gonna make me keep watching your show and other shows be the Mama Purge promo? Like of all the promos, you would have definitely been much better off with McFly. Period. Just like you gotta think of it that way at some point, in some perspective. And not only that, but like if I do watch promos, is that the one you think is gonna keep me to watch this hour-long show? All right, back to you, Wade.
Yeah, man. Now to the match itself. There's been complaints about the review. I wasn't the one who said that. Why are we having people interfere in the match?
Hi, that was me.
I honestly, it's neither here nor there to me. I actually prefer little wacky stuff like that. My problem with it is that it's so inconsistently judged in WGP. Sometimes it's a handicap match. Sometimes it's a disqualification match. Sometimes, like today, in a championship match, it's okay. You are inconsistent, and it pisses me off.
Man, I can just agree with that, because I'm sitting here like, okay, what was the point of having the end come out here just laughing for all that time in your match against a very quality champion in Master Sean Puff? I'm like, that might have been the big mistake there. I think that could have been the difference, because it was 110 to 102. That could have been one of the factors in why they went with the champion, besides the champion cut a hell of a promo. Don Krypton, you want to go?
This match got 3 stars.
Yes.
While I absolutely agree with the fact that Master Sean Puff is an excellent promo artist, there were a lot of flaws with this as well. Mama Purge, I love Mama Purge. It is what it is as far as that concerned. I don't think this deserved to be a half a star below AT and Mr. Wallace. I believe that's grading on a curve, if that makes any sense. That match should not have been 3 stars, simply off of the heft of Sean Puff. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds fair.
That
sounds like a fair complaint.
That's where that's the one reason I'll definitely be a Foundation competitor. It feels like they reached the bar and they're rewarded for it. We are in the Foundation always above the bar, even on our lowest days, and then we still end up, that was okay. It wasn't the best, but it was okay.
I'm gonna speak for me.
On the last show, we said that AT and Mr. Wallace didn't give it their 100% in that match. They mailed it in. Now think about that. Their mail-in was 3.5, which we know they can do much better. But Sean Puff, he came out here very strong. Mama Purge did okay. There's a gap. There's a half-star gap there.
I want to point something out first before anything else. I feel like you're downplaying how much of a gap half a star is for us. Like, I feel like you're downplaying how big. That's a pretty big gap for us. We don't just be throwing out with 5'3", you know, like, so it's a pretty big gap for us. Second of all, I mean, I still agree that this, even with me saying that, I still agree that this should have been a bigger differential between those 2 matches. I still agree with that. Personally, I think I had this one by far the lowest out of the 3 of us, because to me, this is the one-man show. This was just me being cool with a Sean Puff promo, which wasn't even nearly as good as like a, you know, what's his other name? Jonathan Trump. Franklin Benjamin.
Oh, Franklin Benjamin, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously it's not good. So to me, I didn't have this match as high as everyone else did anyway, and I do agree with you on that respect. So I don't even think it should have been half a star within the AT. I have the worst memory, but you know what I'm saying. I don't think it should be that. I mean, sometimes the ball is just falls how it falls. I also don't think that we don't have, okay, we rated this a 3 stars. So let me compare this to the first match I rated. So it just kind of happens how it happens, and sometimes it kind of happens that way. But for me, I had this match rated much lower than that, and I do think it should have been at least 0.75, 1 whole star away from that match. So I get your complaint.
Yeah,
I get it.
Everybody's got opinions, definitely. I mean, that's what the good thing about this is. You got opinions, put them in the comments. I'm sure you already are. But yeah, let's move into this tag team match. Hollywood Haywood and Trevor Robinson versus Jack Saban and the mystery partner. Bones, you want to go ahead and take this one?
Man, this was ass though. Like, it was cool, you know what I mean? Like the drunken Dominicans, that was an entertaining promo for what it was worth, but for what it was worth, it also just we really didn't have nothing against our opponents like that. So it was a fun watch, but it wasn't a competitive watch, if that makes sense. And on the flip side of things, whatever Haywood and Trevor are calling themselves, did they have a name? Whatever they call themselves,
they're the BWO.
Oh yeah, that's right. So the BWO somehow, the Black Wrestling Order, their promo was wild because like it was medium all the way through. I mean, I think Trev came at me pretty hard, pause, but I think the way Trev that little stretch Trev had in there was good. But overall, it was just a default. I mean, it was much better than ours. They should have won, but this match wasn't that good. I would say that. And also, I want to add in that at the end of this promo, Hollywood Haywood told us that he's feeling zesty.
Yeah, that was a little odd. Wave?
I thought it was decent. I thought it was better than I expected. I personally liked BWO's promo better than you two did. If I'm remembering that correctly. Pretty much, I didn't like the transitions too much, but I felt like what Haywood and Trevor were bringing to the table was pretty damn solid, and they made it feel really, really important, especially against two underdogs. Like we got our basically comedy act, Drunk Bones, and Saban, who's always looked at as that developmental type guy. Obviously, I'm hyper involved in him in his future and his involvement in WGP. I try to separate that bias, but I thought they were hilarious, but there were certain moments, especially after you get past the comedy portion in the beginning, where they're actually attacking the BWO. I felt like especially that first attack from Saban was really weak. It was almost a little bit cringe, man. Especially for me as a friend, as a mentor, I'm like, you could do better than that, brother. You could do better than that. So it's far from a very good match. It goes in that category of okay. It's okay. It's all right. I laughed. But that gap between the two scores, I thought that was a bit much. I was like, okay, all right. Obviously, they're both in two different spectrums. You've got BWO was attacking a little better, and then you've got Saban and Bones, who were pretty funny. You got to judge them differently, but that gap, I don't agree with that gap. That would be my one and only complaint. Yeah, it was there. It was there.
Don?
2 3/4 stars. Was it better than the Karaoke match?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Undebatably better.
This is one of those times where entertainment definitely outweighed the competitiveness, like basically everybody else mentioned already. I was extremely entertained by the Drunk Dominicans. It was funny, like you said. It was the attacks weren't necessarily there, but they literally whipped something up, at least on the show, on the fly, and they made it happen. It was funny, it was entertaining, and it got me through to the rest of the show. So I understand the score, I get it, and obviously the BWO being two white guys is always head scratching for me, but outside of that, it was a okay match. I think it was okay.
Yeah,
also,
go ahead.
I was gonna say also all credit go to Rambo for that Drunken Dominicans promo. Like that's 90% that was his baby.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. I think it was very hard to judge because you didn't know exactly how to do this. I imagine the judges had issues. It was very comical. I enjoyed the fuck out of that promo. It was great. I mean, and it's weird. Haywood and Trevor Robinson, they did okay. they look like two singles competitors that aren't meshed as a team as well. That's the big thing. And they do great in the singles competition. They just need to get a little more flow. It's not like Hodge and Haywood where they were in that fusion.
It's like they both white, right? But like, and you put two whites together, and you feel like they're gonna blend in. But one white is eggshell, and the other white is off white. They two different kind of whites.
I gotta agree. Yeah, that's facts. Yep. Let's move on here. We got the Havoc title #1 contendership match: Dante Black and Dash Mars. Bones, you want to start with this one?
Man, I love the fact that Dash Mars never gives up on promoing.
Yeah. I guess that's all it is. Wait.
No, I gotta give Dante some credit for making me care about this match at all. I don't know, like maybe Dash should have went first because like it made Dash Mars promo look so much worse. Like for me, the gap between these two promos, I don't think this was Dante's best promo or even like that good of a Dante promo. It just was Dante is entertaining like as a default. And like the gap between these promos felt almost as bad as that Periodoki match. I'm never gonna pronounce that correctly because I'm never gonna try to. So Periodoki. So the gap, like this felt like two completely different matches. And by the way, I just realized something as we're going through this. I'm gonna go ahead and address it now for Don Krypton. Don, I actually rated everything on Foundation higher than I did WGP. So I'm not the person you even got beef with. It's these almost niggas. Now that I'm thinking about it, I actually rated all this stuff way lower than they did.
I'm glad you said that because that was exactly what I was gonna say next. Because I'm constantly getting blown up about being biased. This show in particular, I rated Foundation far better than WGP. And this match reminded me of it. This match doesn't belong on the show. And I hate saying that because Dash Mars and Dante, you know, they're bringing their best. I never want to discourage a competitor, but I'm looking at the booker like, what are you doing with this, man? Why is this on the show? I don't even want to judge this. This was by far the lowest judging I did on the two shows, this match right here. It didn't need to happen.
Yeah, this match was 2.5. I'll say this much for Dash Mars. This was one of his better promos. At least he kind of stepped up into it. I mean, I like the whole,
I said honestly true.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I was like, okay. I went with this about 2.5 stars. I was like, okay, Dante Black carried this match. They had a little bit of a story. They had a little bit of a build. It was about the name. It was about the #1 contendership. It was like, okay, that kind of added up for me. It was like Gene Emerson coming in your match, Don Krypton. It was the same kind of deal, except there wasn't a title on the line. Because Gene Emerson stepped up, Dash Mars tried to step up.
I did get 2.5 stars. Dante is almost there.
Yeah,
I want to give him some props, but there are times when he falls back into the same cycle of doing this, doing the same phrases over and over again. It's like, all right, we heard that, we know what that is about. So Dash Mars, again, thank you for your consistency in continuing to come out in promo. This match didn't need to happen. It was definitely a bathroom break. I'm sorry, both you guys. And the fact that this was for a #1 contendership kind of shows the average talent, I guess, in WGP. So I obviously not a great match, but it happened, and we're gonna move on.
I wouldn't say the average talent. I would say that they shouldn't have booked it because this is. I mean, as far as their list goes, their roster goes, this is the top guy versus the bottom guy. Pause.
Yeah. So let me take the time off here to apologize to Dante Black. How I felt about the match existing. It shouldn't be indicative of how I feel about your promo in particular. Your promo was good. I'm looking at the booker like, just give him the #1 contendership. This match doesn't need to happen.
Yes, and I just want to chime in because I know sometimes I'm rough and I give bad opinions, and they're not always favorable, but you're going to get what I'm thinking. That's what you're going to get. It's just, hey, it's the way I see shit. That's the only way I can call it. But yeah, all right. Elijah McFly, DB greatness. Doc Krypton, you want to start this one?
This was more like me and Gene Emerson's match. Elijah McFly has been steadily on the increase. He has some things he has to overcome, but he's been steadily, visibly, actually getting better. So seeing him, come out strong, come out swinging, I think the score actually maybe should have been a little bit closer. Not a lot, a little bit closer. DB greatness, obviously one of the best to do it. Coming out doing, just doing just what he does. I think him and Dante should have a match to see who gets to keep the greatness moniker. That would have been a great match. But as far as this one's concerned, 3.5 stars. Yeah, I'm okay with that. 3.5 stars. I'm okay with that.
I love the story building up to this. I love this match. I thought this was Elijah McFly's probably one of his best promos.
Absolutely.
I mean, but DB greatness came out and won this. Yes, I mean that just happens. I mean, DB is definitely among the tops in the promo game. This was a hell of a match here. Definitely great job on both. Bones?
Yep. This is my favorite match out of all the matches. Landslide for me. And I really did. I really liked Elijah McFly's promo, even though I really like DB's promo much more. But neither of these would be my best promo itself. But like as far as out of all the matches, this is definitely the landslide best match that I enjoyed the most. And keep shooting, McFly. You'll get there.
Keep shooting.
Wave?
McFly, I want to talk to you in particular, man. Should there have been that big of a gap between you and DB? No, there shouldn't have. I disagree with that score. However, I believe it's a necessary evil. You needed that. You needed that score because like I know, that just because your promo was not bad, it doesn't mean that's who you are. You are much better than that promo you delivered. You were in the match with DB because you could beat DB on your best day. This wasn't your best day. Unfortunately for you, DB was coming off his worst match and decided to drop his best match on you. That's exactly what occurred there. But McFly, you could be WPGP champion one day. It's all on you. And I've said this before, publicly, privately, I'll say it again. You've gotta not settle on the first or second or third take. Take your time and get your best take in.
Yeah, I love you, McFly, but you can't be WGP champion. That's that nigga lied to you.
Anybody could be champion, man.
Anybody could be champion. The champion right now is the founding father. Anyone could be champion.
Touche.
Yeah.
Dash Mars gets contendership.
Dash Mars can't be champion.
I don't know, man. A lot of people told me that AEP was never going to be a champion. I've seen him win gold places.
I mean, that's because they don't like AEP. AEP could be champion. That's a whole different conversation. We team AEP all day around here, but we talking about McFly, and I mean, like it could happen, but like not for real though. And if you won't like that, I really hope McFly doesn't like that, and then he just like comes really, really hard and faces me and destroys me in the match. That would be great to me.
Come on, man, pause.
Super pause.
Well, you heard it there,
We understood the sentiment.
Let's get into this main event here. We had Joey Ramboa taking on the founding father. Who wants to start with this? Anybody?
Just as much as, man, the wrong person won, bro, by a lot. Like, I think everybody else is way more enamored with this founding father. Everybody else in here, I don't know about Rambo, but I think everybody else is way more enamored with this founding father promo. I was extremely like, all right, cool. Because it's like the founding father is like the Hollywood Haywood version of Dr. Doof to me. And that's what I feel like I get. I don't feel like he tried or even. I don't even feel like it was a comedy thing. It was just.
He's right. He's right. Don't hold your head. He's right. He's right.
I don't even feel like he tried, to be honest. And so, like, I feel like he shouldn't even feel like he won it. This is one of those, like, really, but in recent memory, the only time I could think of where it was a worse judging decision to say that this person won was when I beat Don Krypton last time. That's the only time I can think about was a worse judging decision in the past year, because this was like super clearly, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't get it. It's everything. First off, you got Ramboa, who is already great. But then, if anybody who doesn't like the Ramboa promo style says there's one thing they don't like, is the energy that he brings. You got Ramboa with that energy that you was asking for. You got the energy you was asking for with all the same exact Ramboa flair, right? I don't understand how he lost. I really don't, because it's such a, like, bro, at some point you gotta look at these judges and be like, whether we doing wrong, is our criteria fucked up, or is it just the judges aren't looking for the right thing? Because I feel like there's no way that anybody, I feel like Haywood would not come on and be like, you know what, I should have won that match. I feel like nobody's gonna honestly, openly can say that, like, nobody other than those judges who voted wrong as fuck will openly say that Ramboa lost that match, because that's crazy to me. And I don't really even go off this much about judges being wrong, but they can't be this wrong. It's a certain it's an amount of what's the word I want to use? I'm sure Krypton knows, because Krypton's like a human thesaurus, and he also pronounces the G's at the end of his INGs. So he's pretty smart. He probably knows exactly what I'm trying to say. But like the handicap, or like, it's so much of a margin for error. It's so much of a margin for error that I'm willing to allow you as a judge. But sometimes you can't get it this wrong. You can't. At some point, you gotta look back and say, you know what, it's something fucked up about this shit. We can't change the results, but we really need to sit down and look about why this happened, because and we need to apologize to Ramboa for this happening. That's my rant.
Correct, Bones. This judging was not in the margin of error. That's what you were looking for, the margin of error. That this shouldn't have happened. Like, you can say, even if Ramboa won by 1 point, you're like, ooh, that's a weird score, but okay, we understand that he won. But he lost by 1 point. Like, if they tied it, like, that's weird. There's no reason, rhyme or reason or anything. I did pronounce the INGs. It's okay. There's no reason at all that Ramboa should have lost that, because the Founding Father is literally a gimmick character, and he played that up to the most, and he's acting more like a King George than anything else. So I'm trying to figure out what was the criteria. We got to see when the scores. Did the scores come out already, Rambo? I'm not even sure, but
They did.
At some point they did come. Okay, I'll take a look at them again. But that was extremely baffling. So seeing that happen, justice for Rambo. I dropped
And I know,
on that one because,
I know y'all may think that, like, maybe this is some type of bias because I do this show with Rambo. I don't give no fucks about Rambo feelings, bro. Like, real rap.
He don't give a fuck about me. This man does not give a fuck about me.
I promise you, I don't care about making Rambo happy or sad. I don't care. I like, he knows. We know this is our job, to be honest with each other. I just told y'all how trash his fucking little commercial shit was on the other show. So I'm gonna say it. This just ain't the one.
Listen, when Bones and I agree on something, you know that somebody's completely off their rocker.
And I'm basically right there with you. I was shocked when I saw the results. Said, holy shit. I mean, Founding Father cut a good promo for that gimmick. It was probably the height of it. It really was, of his shit. You know, to make that character come alive the way he did. But Ramboa's promo was much better. I mean, you had fire out the eyes. You had the character. You felt the energy, the emotion in this. Like, he was getting ready to go kick the door down and punch somebody in the face. That's what you really felt out of this promo. I mean, I don't think the score reflects it right. I really don't. I'm with you guys on this. But Wade, I'm going to let you have the final word on this, because this is you.
I really don't have much to add that hasn't already been said, and I didn't address last night on WGP WOW. I thought the Founding Father, for a gimmick, did the best he could possibly do in a championship opportunity. I'm like, wow, that. I'm watching it in real time, and I'm like, okay, that's the maximum you could do with that gimmick. That was dope. Okay, you got the erecting penis in the back. Okay, fuck me. Oh, he really fucked me. Oh shit. But I took him seriously. I took him seriously for 6 months and laid down the ground for 6 weeks and laid down the groundwork for everything that I thought he could possibly say. I felt like champions advantage was not honored. I felt like a lot of things were overlooked. And, it just sounds like, oh, he just throwing himself a pity party. So I hate even giving my analysis on it. But it just literally felt like someone farted in the elevator when they announced 2-1.
Can I point this out? Because I got to point this out. The reaction, Mr. Wallace. This is how you know you got a great commentator. He sold the hell out of that shit, man. That made me want to go, where's the rematch? Come on, give me the rematch here.
Absolutely.
Really,
and obviously we saw, the Wild Out Wednesday afterwards. I obviously had to give him a piece of my mind. We saw Justice for Ramboa start trending all over Twitter. I'm sorry, X or whatever you want to call it. Threads. There we go. Let's go with Threads. I'm not even on there yet, but we ain't gonna talk about it. But yeah, we saw all of that happen. We know that there was some type of screwiness going on there, and I think we all acknowledge it. So hopefully we will see Founding Father Ramboa Part 2.
Yeah, I definitely am excited to see that. We gave it 4 stars. I think that was a fitting main event. I'm going to say if you compare main events, I think that match was better than the House of Thunder. That's my personal opinion.
I think they were both judged incorrectly. They were both judged incorrectly. And I think this one was judged much worse. Go ahead.
The problem is just that the fact that judging the House of Thunder match incorrectly also ruined the match. Like with this one, judging incorrectly didn't change how good or bad the match was. As far as watching it.
Because if you would have had A-List and Bobby Miller fighting one-on-one in the finals, I think you would have a different conversation.
I think we'd have a different conversation about who won the Star Award this month with that match, with that difference.
Yeah. Well, the WGP Fall Brawl, we gave 4 1/4. The WOW, we gave 2.5. They kind of went down on the WOW. They're not really putting as much effort in that part. That's where I'm starting to see it. Like you're starting to see just little hypes in one match. It's good, but the hypes ain't quality on a good bit of them, in my opinion.
Like I said, I only watch the show for Mr. Wallace these days, so as long as he's there, he'll have a little bit of viewership. Any days that he's not there, I normally 2-speed through it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and this here, Fall Brawl got 3 1/4. It beat out Foundation with 3 stars at 3 1/4. A quarter of a star. It's a really tight race right there.
Didn't Bones just say that's how much how much a quarter of a star is? Like we had that conversation, didn't we?
We did.
Okay, so I don't believe that's the right way. I don't believe anybody on this brand believes that that's the correct way. We understand.
I don't feel like WG, but sometimes it kind of falls different also for other things. Like you gotta imagine how much the host is weighted and how much everything besides the actual performance are weighted as well. You gotta think about those things that WGP is consistently kicking Foundation ass in. And the fact that you just do a commercial in there and that commercial got rated, right? And so you take an L on that. So like you gotta tighten shit up. It's pretty much what it comes down to. Yeah. But also I do think Foundation won this month, but that's just how the numbers played out. I did, but I rated Foundation higher, I'm pretty sure, in every regard.
Yeah, for sure. Foundation had the better month last month. I'm not arguing that point at all. The biggest point, like the biggest indicator to me, was the go home show for Fall Brawl WGP. Not one person sent in a hype to build up a PPE, man. That's a shame. And what Ramboa sent in, that wasn't a hype to build the match. That was just him gloating about Spanish Heritage Month. So you could throw that one right out the window. There wasn't one hype, not one hype on a go home show.
You gloating could also make me want to watch a match, possibly. Also, what I want to throw out there is that consider things like not adding stupid ass commercials. Not commercials, but like stupid ass hypes in the middle of show that bring you down a lot, because if you think about it, we graded about 6 things. If one of those things got like a 1.5 or something, kind of fucks you.
Yeah, the flow. Well, there we go, folks. There's our show. Thank you, Bones. Thank you, Wave Seltzer. Thank you, Don Krypton, for coming on here, special guest today. I'm Dr. Quack, and we'll see you on the next go round.
You think, Dr. Krypton?